Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works for today, Monday, May 2nd, 2016.
Good morning, Commissioners Davis, Rodriguez, James, Repenning, and Jacinto are present. We have a quorum. Would the representatives introduce themselves?
Good morning, Chris Smith, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Aida Valencia, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Moss Tajiri, Bureau of Sanitation.
Jim Lantry, Engineering.
Good morning, Lori Rittenberg, City Attorney.
Terry Schmidt, Board Assistant Executive Officer. I have one speaker card for public comments, and every other item.
Okay, thank you. Our first item of business, the approval of the meeting minutes from the meeting of April 13th, 2016. Is there a second to my motion that we approve those meeting minutes? By Commissioner Rodriguez. Any objection? Without objection, we'll approve those meeting minutes. Agenda item number 1, Bureau of Contract Administration and Bureau of Engineering requested acceptance in Council District 8, a settlement, South Los Angeles Animal Care Center project completed by Macone Development Incorporated, recommending that the board first approve the forfeiture from the final payment to Macone Development in the amount of $176,430.71 for employee back wage restitution for underpayment of prevailing wages. 2, direct the sum of $4,258.26 originally withheld from Macone for a stop notice by A1 Quality Blinds to be reallocated to help meet the agreed upon employee back wage restitution. And 3, assess Macone with a penalty in the amount of $15,765.70 for the unauthorized subcontractor substitutions of 2 bid-listed OBE subcontractors and 1 substitute OBE subcontractor, and reallocate the amount to help meet the agreed-upon employee back wage restitution. And 4, instruct the Director of the Office of Accounting to prepare a draft in the amount of $196,454.67, which is the total payable to the State of California. Mr. Spindler, you have a card on number 1.
So as I alluded to Friday, here it is. The small businesses are here today outside. This is what happens when you contract with the city of Los Angeles. They fuck you. That's what they do. This place fucks you every time you do business with this city unless you pay off these scumbag politicians. $196,454 for what? Did somebody get killed? No. Did somebody drop a crane on somebody? No. Was this an on-site job issue involving the security and safety of employees? No. Was this an OSHA? No. What is this?
Restitution for underpayment of prevailing wages.
A bunch of fucking shit. You have people that are supposed to audit this. You're supposed to tell these people if they're underpaying prevailing wages. It's your responsibility. It's in the contract. And this A1 blinds keeps coming back, this A1 quality blinds. You keep persecuting A1 quality blinds. Why do you keep persecuting A1 quality blinds? What did they do to you? You know, if you look on the website, did they give enough campaign donations? That's what it is. They didn't pay off enough politicians, not enough campaign donations. What about this Mac 1 development? What did they do? You're taking all this money, stealing it, and giving a check to the state of California? Do you think Sacramento needs this money? No. Mac 1 and A1 need this money. This goes to pay wages. You're taking money off of people's tables to feed their families to give it to goddamn Jerry Brown, the criminal thief. He's building a train to nowhere, spending $64.4 billion fucking dollars. I'm tired of this. Stop persecuting small businesses. Today is Small Business Day. Stop fucking small businesses that deal with this place. Stop the pay to play. That's why the FBI needs to come in and stop this, because this city's doing this to people that don't give money to these campaigns.
Thank you, Mr. Spindler. Mr. Jensen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chris Jensen. I'm the Labor Compliance Officer for the City of Los Angeles. And what happened here, I've been very fortunate lately. I've been able to come up and address the board on a number of very good, very positive issues. This project was not a good, positive project. We had a large number of violations. We had 7 subcontractors, as well as the prime contractor that were flat out cheating their workers, underpaying their workers. That's what my office is charged with doing, is when someone has been cheated, they've had money stolen from them. Our office is to get that money and get it back to the workers. The $196,000 that you've spoke of, by the way, I think the agenda sums it up very well. That money is all to be dedicated to the workers. We will send it to the state of California along with names, addresses, social security numbers, phone numbers for the workers. We're in touch with those workers now, and the money will go to them. Briefly, the agenda sums it up very well. The $176,430.71 is money that we had withheld because of the restitution. The $4,258.26 for A1 quality blinds, the city was holding it because of a stop notice filed by A1 quality blinds. That has been resolved, so that issue no longer applied. The money had not yet been released. In our settlement agreement with Macone, they agreed to let us keep that money. So the issue with A1 quality blinds is really off the table here. Finally, there is the amount of $15,765.70 for unauthorized subcontractor substitutions. In the course of the settlement agreement, Macone did agree that if the board sees fit to assess that penalty, that money would go to workers.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen. Any questions? Commissioner Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen, for your report. Are there any other instances that we might be aware of this contractor being involved with any other contracts currently with the city, and have we reviewed?
With the
Macone?
city, Macone this was their only job with the city.
Okay.
I can tell you there were other issues with other awarding bodies, not the city.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything further?
Yeah, is this the case where the prime contractor got arrested? Is this the?
That's correct. They are currently awaiting arraignment down in Orange County on similar charges.
Okay.
It will be May 26th.
Anything further? Commissioner Rodriguez has made a motion to approve. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 1. Thank you, Mr. Jensen. Any problem in sending the settlement agreement to forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Agenda item number 2. Bureau of Engineering, Council District 15. Requesting the board authorize the city engineer to issue a revision of task for solicitation number 102 to David Evans and Associates to increase the budget authority from $214,000 to $305,000. It's about $74,000 for design services for the Jordan Downs Redevelopment Century Boulevard Extension Project. Mr. Spindler, you have a card on number 2.
Now we begin the Gangster's Paradise part of the meeting. So let's give away what? Another $89,000 of free money. $89,000 of extra money for design services for Jordan Downs Redevelopment Century Boulevard project. When you're connected, fool, this is the opposite of item 1. Los Angeles City Hall. When you go motherfucking here, this is what happens. See, that's what I live in. I live in a gangster's paradise, held hostage by you so you can give away another $90,000 for design services. So, see, the pimps who pay to play get more money. But the motherfuckers that don't do the pimp to play don't get money. They get less money and they get jail, like down in Orange County. Because that's what you did to Item 1. They be prosecuting. See, Hillary Clinton can bomb a consulate and kill a fucking person who's in charge of a consulate in an embassy. And she gets to run for president. But Mac 1 makes a fucking mistake and they get indicted. Big old gangster city, big old gangster foes. You'll vote yes for it because it's time to steal the money.
Time.
Thank you, Mr. Spindler. On number 2, Mr. Munger.
Good morning, Commissioner. My name is Ramnik Mangra. I'm with Bureau of Engineering Street Program. Here we are asking the board to authorize city engineer to issue revision to the task order 102 to David Evans to increase their budget authority from by $91,219 from $214,161.96 to $305,360.89 to complete the design of the street project. Basically, this project originally was, this task order was issued, task order number 8 was issued back in 2011. Subsequently, due to changes, we increased the task order to $613,000. Let me go to the table, sorry. $613,315. And subsequent, basically, we kept getting changes to the project due to initially Century Boulevard was supposed to be completed before the private development construction would start. But in this case, due to delays and some inputs from the private development, we keep changing the scope of the projects, and therefore these different revisions that you see. Task order number 8 was expired, and subsequently we issued another task order number 102, with a $214,161.98 to DEA, and that was the difference between the approved and invoiced amount. And so at this point, what I see is that based on the approved authority we have of $750,000 minus the $46,000 we paid to Tetra Tech for pre-design, remaining $704,000 plus authority that I have, based on that differential is the $91,289 that we are asking for, that contingency amount that we are asking for your approval, so we can issue another task order to DEA to continue on the design changes and keep working on the project. And I'm going to come back, follow up with another board report that will authorize the MOU between BOE and HACLA, Housing Authority, for additional changes. And subsequently thereafter, there will be another board report to authorize the remaining change order amount that I need to complete the 100% design.
Thank you, Mr. Mungara. Any questions? Commissioner Jacinto?
Thank you. Thank you for your report, sir. Can you, for the record, please elaborate a little bit more on the rationale for the changes in the scope of work, please?
Under task order number 8, first of all, we had issued only $250,000 authority because that's all money we had, even though the budget for 100% design was $524,000 plus. At that, because the HACLA did not have money, they were looking for money. And subsequently, we had money come in, and then we had to, increase their amount with the $40,000 contingency, and that's how we got to $315,000. But the changes that came along is the recharacterization of the Century Boulevard. Initially, the Century Boulevard was a secondary highway, And then part of the Jordan Down specific plan, they wanted to make it kind of equivalent to residential street, the width of the street. So that required change. Also, private development gave input to HACLA that the community building they were placing on north side of Century Boulevard needed to change to the south side of Century Boulevard along with the park, so people don't have to cross the Century Boulevard to go to community building. There are other changes. When we got close to 100% design, we had this city engineer's estimate was a little bit, not a little bit, but a few $millions higher than, about close to $3 million higher than what was budgeted for. So HACLA wanted us to do a value engineering, which we performed. And in that time frame, it was like about a year that the project was on hold. And when this project got the push in last October, then HACLA told us that keep the scope same and move forward. Meanwhile, we spent all this time with our consultant for the value engineering and changes. And there are some value engineering changes that we ended up incorporating in the design, and that caused change order too. And now that private development is kind of like parallel with the Century Boulevard as far as the schedule is concerned, they are giving us more changes. So future board report will include all those changes and the cost to incorporate those changes as part of the 100% design. And the reason we are doing is that otherwise it will cost a lot more to correct the drawings or to correct the situation. Basically, we have to reconstruct the sidewalks and to match the elevations, things like that, if you don't incorporate those changes.
Anything further on number 2?
Yeah, this is a federally funded project.
Yes, about $6 million is federal funded, $350,000 of Prop C, and the rest of the money is from HACLA.
So could you discuss very briefly or analyze or frame for us the disadvantaged business inclusion or minority business inclusion? I guess if it's federal, it's minority business inclusion, right? Disadvantage?
This is a business inclusion, yeah. DEA, David Evans consulting firm, has proposed 6.01%. Under Task 8, they had performed up to 10.86%, and under Task 102 so far, it's about 12.48% that their DB contribution. And it's outlined in table 2, which is basically on page number 4.
Oh, okay, back here. So we pledged 6%
Yes.
of disadvantaged
Right.
business inclusion, and perhaps that's probably because of was it some highly skilled area? How did we come up with the 6%? You know?
I'm not positive on this, but I can get back to you if you need the specific information. I think it comes from our project award and control group.
What I was trying to explore is that 6%. Is there a certain formula that comes up with the 6? How do we get the 6% in an area like that? Is it because of the skill level, or how do we get 6% as a possibility? Would there, for example, been a possibility of getting more than 6% in an area like this, perhaps? Or was it the skills that people are having to execute are such that there would not be the possibility of doing more than 6%? This is Jordan Downs, is that correct?
Yes. Well, this is engineering consulting firm that we are employing, so it'll be, engineering level
So
staff that we require.
Most of the work was engineering.
Engineering work.
And then on the available pool of engineers that we have, this is perhaps the most realistic option that we would have had.
This is based on a pre-qualified list, and we, send out our task to pool, and then we get the best qualified based on the cost and what they pledge on the DBE, and how soon they can deliver the project. We look at different criteria as part of the task, and that's how we award the contract.
Okay, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Anything further? Commissioner Sendo's made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 2. Is there a second? By Commissioner Rodriguez. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 2. I do appreciate the chronology that was listed in the board report, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any problem sending number 2 forthwith? We'll send number 2 forthwith. Agenda item number 3. The mayor has approved and transmitted for further processing the proposed authority for expenditure for Microsoft Premier maintenance and support services in the amount of $65,320. Mr. Spindler, you have a card on number 3.
Your price, $65,320. My price, $21,975 for the same fucking thing for an annual fee. How did I get that? Because Microsoft has bundling discounts for certain nonprofits and other organizations like OETC. Organization for Educational Technology and Curriculum is a nonprofit consortium of K-20 educational institutions in the U.S. focused on providing low-cost technology and high-quality professional development. Apparently, Mayor Garcetti isn't interested in low-cost technology and high-quality professional development, so he pays the fuck-off price, the jack-off price of $65,320 when you could have the same thing years today for $21,975. You can just add it to the cart. You can just add it to the cart. You could go right now. Now, I ordered 2 of them, and I got 2 of them for $43,950 with a discount, waiving the processing fee of $1,318. Now, why can somebody do that and you guys can't do that? Because you're busy stealing. You're not busy. You don't have a technology advisor going and shopping for the best fees. You could bundle this with other government service contracts. You could go to the county, do a bundle, and save about 50%. But you're not interested in that because this place is a gangster's paradise. Now, you get little counties in Texas. Like Kevin was from Texas. He went to school down there in Houston. Those jackoffs are paying $90,000 for this for 6 months. Some little county in Texas. They're paying $90,000 for this for 6 months. But you could have it for the whole year for $21,975.
Thank you, Mr. Spindler. This is returned with approval from the mayor for signature. Is there a second to my motion that we adopt agenda item number 3? By Commissioner Davis, any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt number 3. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send number 3 forthwith. Number 4, Associated Ready Mix Concrete has transmitted the release of a stop notice in the amount of $3,598 in connection with the Moore Park Street widening to Woodman Avenue to Marietta Avenue project. The contractor is Griffith Company. Mr. Spindler, you have a card on number 4.
Come on, what is this? $3,598. Is anybody going to notice this? Come on, let them keep the $3,598. I mean, I just showed you you're overpaying Microsoft 300%. You don't care about that. There was no discussion. That's what I love about this panel. And that's why I wish Andrea Alarcon would come back. I wish that Garcetti could leave and we could bring Villaraigosa back, because we had it so much better with Garcetti, without Garcetti. When we had Villaraigosa, this place was so much better. Because now you've got the degenerate fucking criminals running this place now. I thought we had criminals running this place before. And they keep telling me it can't get worse. It's getting so bad now. It's getting so bad now. You pigeonhole us for $3,598 when you're letting everybody else steal hundreds of thousands of dollars. So go by the rule that I suggested before. Anything under $50,000, don't even take it up. Just put it in a consent item. Just list it on the back like they do, like Herb Weston does, and just put it like item 1 and put like 50 of them together and just slam them in. Because we don't need a paid commission to do what you're doing. We just don't need a paid commission for this. This could be done by just regular appointees meeting twice a month. You know it, I know it. Now, at least when Andrea Alarcon was here, at least she worked for the money. She was here on overtime, servicing the mayor for overtime. At least she earned some money. At least she did something positive. At least she fucked in the building. At least she did something positive. At least she provided a service. What is this panel doing? This panel is wasting money. They can't even go on my website and see that they paid 3 times for something they could get for a third. So please, don't do this to this company. Just let them keep the $3,500 since we're giving it all away anyway. Just make it official.
Is there a second to my motion that we receive agenda item number 4 forthwith by Commissioner Rodriguez? Any objection? Without objection, number 4 will be received forthwith. Agenda item number 5, oral report on the Cisco quarterly update from the Bureau of Engineering. Mr. Spindler, you have a card on number 5.
Cisco. Everywhere you go, every government is paying this company Cisco millions and millions and millions of dollars for what? Software? We are so technologically advanced in my little tablet. You don't have to do this anymore. You can have an in-house IT program. You don't even have to have this. This is crap. What do they do on all of these websites? Anybody run a Microsoft Office 10 lately? Or Word? They update drivers. So every time you put on and you log on, they change the drivers. The only thing you're paying for is updating drivers, which are being changed all the time, constantly, so your machines fall behind, and then they have to upload those new development drivers. It slows down the network. It slows down the laptop. So you go to these fucking jackoffs, and they can bypass it through their network. So essentially, you could do the same thing they're doing, except they have a mega network, and you're paying millions of dollars for it, when you could have the whole thing in-house. That's why when you use a new laptop, you turn it on, and the thing keeps going in a round circle saying, updating, 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 updating. And you go online and you can't move. That's because Cisco gets around that by using their servers. You can do the same thing. You can have an in-house technology program that does everything this company does. In 10 years, you would save hundreds of millions of dollars for the city. But you don't want to have an in-house IT program. You don't want to take all those H-1 visas that Donald Trump and Microsoft gets. You don't want to, you could just import your workers on the H-1 visas. 6 years. You could bring a whole IT program in here from India. Because everybody in India has an IT degree.
I want to go where? And you're going to work H-1B visa. And I went to go to United States to make 1/3 of IT money. I sent back to Punjab. I sent back to India to feed my family with my $400 a month rent, right?
And then after 6 years, they send their asses back. Most of them stay over on their visas and they marry American citizens. And this is what Cisco fucking hires. They don't hire American workers. They're hiring IT professionals in India, Pakistan, and these countries are paying a fucking 50th of the prevailing wage that you claim that number 1 was underpaying. These people are underpaying fucking wages right here. They are not even hiring American workers. You're paying for this company to hoard the money in overseas accounts and not pay taxes on it, rather than hire American workers. We should be hiring American workers to do this. It's tax money. It goes from our coffers over to Cisco, over to the Cayman Islands and the Isle of Man on these nonprofit corporations.
Mr. Cirillo, would you come and state what Cisco is, please?
Sure. Good morning. Mike Cirillo with the Bureau of
Enlighten the
Engineering.
board, please.
Pardon me?
Please enlighten the board on what Cisco is.
Cisco stands for Construction Services Contract, and it's a contract that we've been using in the wastewater program for a number of years to do.
Is it a company?
No, it's not a
Didn't
company.
think so.
It's
Okay,
not a
go
company.
ahead. Thank you for all that. Go ahead, sir.
Contracting vehicle that we've been using, and it's to deliver relatively small wastewater infrastructure projects on an expedited method of contracting. LA Sanitation has been very supportive of Cisco because it allows us to mobilize quickly without a lengthy bid and award process and take care of urgent wastewater projects. We use it for items such as potholing utilities to discover some undocumented utilities. We use it for startup assistance to assist the Bureau with startup of facilities. And again, we also use it for small projects that we don't want to go through a long bid and award phase because we probably wouldn't attract a lot of bids for a $100,000 or $200,000 job. So with that being said, I want to give you a quarterly report for Cisco. So the current Cisco contractor is Murray Company. That contract is rebid every 3 years or so, and we select a contractor to be our Cisco contractor for the next 3-year period. It's a $12 million contract typically over 3 years. We awarded this contract in January of 2015, which means it expires in sometime in early 2018. We're about 35% of the way through in terms of time, and ironically, the money is almost identical too in terms of what we've expended to date. We've expended about $4 million out of the 12, so it matches the time almost perfectly, which is a good sign. We're not overspending or underspending on Cisco. I also want to talk about the MBWB utilization. It's very timely with National Small Business Week to be here talking about this. We have really done a good job since the last quarter with our numbers. The board made it a point last time when I gave a quarterly report, actually one of my staff gave a quarterly report, to please reach out and try to achieve better numbers with respect to MBWBE, SBE, EBE, and DVBE, and we've done that. I've taken that message back to staff, and we've really made a strong outreach effort to the business community. And as you can see, it's showing in the results. We're positive in all but 2 categories. Last quarter, we were negative in all 5 categories. We're going to continue to work hard and try to bring in small businesses. We have been attending a lot of events, as you probably know, that have been going on. We attended a DVBE Alliance event on April 26th. We got some good responses there. We're going to be attending the Black Business Association Summit on May 13th. There's an Accessing LA event on May 18th we're going to attend, and we're considering attending a Prime Connection Forum on May 4th. So I think all these outreach efforts are really paying off. We're seeing that as we get out there and network with these small businesses and let them know how to contract with the city. A lot of them don't really understand how to get involved. They don't understand what opportunities are out there, but once you get the message out there, you make that connection. They certainly are willing to participate, and they bring some great expertise to our program. We're also posting all of our upcoming projects on the BAVIN system every quarter. So businesses can log into the BAVIN system and see what kind of opportunities might be there, and then contact the contact person listed so they can reach out to do business with us. So I'm encouraged by the numbers. I hope we can continue to do well, and I think we will.
Thank you. Commissioner Rodriguez.
Mike, thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that the Bureau has really taken back what we've been talking about for so long, and because we do need to be proactive in communicating what opportunities exist to small businesses, and all these outreach efforts are going to net us a lot of positive results, and I'm happy to see that happening. And in light of Small Business Week and the enhancements that we've made to BAVIN, that's cut down the registration time by about 45 minutes in that process. I'm hoping that we'll even see even greater participation from small businesses to try and participate in some of these contract opportunities. So I just want to say thank you for hearing us and being responsive. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Davis.
Mike, I wanted to also thank you for the approach that we're now executing, and I think it's definitely critical and important. I have the greatest appreciation for your outreach efforts and the places that you're going to outreach, and I do believe that networking does make a difference in terms of us achieving the diversity that we're seeking. Finally, I'd like to compliment the Bureau of Engineering for also reaching out in terms of where we search for diverse engineers. Often the market that we currently are in does not have the available diversity that we're seeking, but however, there is a larger network in this country from where we can get individuals to meet some of the goals that we're setting for ourselves. You all have begun to do that, particularly specifically as we look at some of the areas that train minority engineers. You are now going out, I heard from Gary, you are now going to those places, and I have the greatest appreciation for that, and I think that is truly the solution for us to reach some of the goals that you all have set for us. So thank you for your work.
Welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Anything further? Commissioner Cinto.
Thank you. Mike, thank you for the report, quarterly report. Cisco was one of the first briefings I had when I started too, and I understand that we're on Cisco 9? 9. And thank you and the division for coming out and participating in the upcoming Accessing LA. I think to fulfill the mayor's vision of a safe and prosperous city for everybody, for all businesses, is so important, and it takes this constant outreach, relationship building to get more of a pool to be part of our contracting process. So Con Ed's in there too. Want to give a shout out to Con Ed, and again, thank your division for participating.
Thank you, Commissioner Cinto. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. The oral report will be received. Moving to general public comment, Mr. Spinner, you have a card.
According to Mike Bonin's office, he claims we're being overcharged on our sanitation and trash fees, that you have an overage of some $30 million of overcharges. Instead of giving it back to us, he wants to keep the money and put it into city programs. So there, Mike Bonin's proven you're overcharging us for trash fees. You're not charging us for the cost of the trash fees. You're making profits on it. So this is dedicated to the board. This is called Trash by Alice Cooper. That's what this panel is. $74 every 2 months you take and put out on the bill of the DWP. $74 for trash fees. That should be half of that. And if you don't pay it, they shut off your water and electric. Get that. Isn't that disgusting to collect twice the money on trash fees and put it on your DWP bill, so if you don't pay it, you can't challenge it in court, they hold you hostage and turn your water and electric off? What a thieving organization you are. You put on a pretty picture, but you're just trash!
Time.
Trash!
Time.
Thank you, Mr. Spinner. Ms. Schmidt, have we cleared the desk?
Yes.
Then we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.